Good afternoon, Chris. How are you this fine Saturday evening?
Well, I'm still here, Rob. After 7 days of having COVID.
You told me it was 10 days.
Well, 7 days since we recorded, clearly.
I thought you said you were out of quarantine after 10 days.
No, 7 days after we recorded the last show.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Get with the program, Rob. Get with the
Cheers.
program.
Cheers.
You're so obsessed.
You've already dipped way into this, so I'm going to have a drink now.
You're obsessed. You're obsessed, Rob. You haven't had it yet. And when you do...
Better not.
If you're as sharp as me, well, don't open any mail that comes from me in the next week. Any post-dated deliveries.
No, I won't. Thank you for the warning.
Do you think there's people getting people back? There's bound to be, isn't there?
Oh, there's probably all sorts. Well, remember in the very beginning there was people coughing on people?
Oh, well, geez, there was poor woman died in the underground in London because some fucking dickhead spat on her.
Really?
Yeah, they still haven't caught him. Her husband's on the internet. I signed something a couple of weeks ago or last week.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
The underground put her out without any protection. Let me just say this. No, this is a photograph. Wait, you know what? Let me say this really quickly. This isn't a story, but you know, I've been hearing about people doing stories about having COVID and everything else. You know, and I've been in my room for I don't know how long.
3 days?
10 years.
3 days.
No, I haven't had the loss of smell or the loss of taste. Isn't that what they say? That's the things. But what I have had, and with a wee bit of research, what you realise is that if you don't have those, you have this beautiful thing called hallucinations.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Now, as a hallucinator in my young age, but whenever it's self-inflicted, it's a very, 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 very different ball game.
Yeah.
Okay. But of course, this all leads into photography, doesn't it? So whenever I'm lying in bed, of course, I'm in my room, Lee is away, and next door, William and Patrick. I'm in the room with myself, and every single morning since I've had this, I wake up at between 3 and 5, more towards 5 mostly, and I have a big window, and whenever I look out, the clouds are going literally 1,000 miles an hour, and it's like a nuclear wasteland, and I keep looking at it and rubbing my eyes and looking at it. I know it's not real, and it's not in the room, It's just in the window. So I sit up, bolt upright, it goes, lie back down, it's there again. Today was interesting, it was flock wallpaper, I think a Zoffany flock wallpaper, pretty detailed, black and white, kind of blue tinge to it. So I'm making work around that. We bit of abstraction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
right on.
Well, yeah. There you go.
When you got lemons,
make
purple.
Make purple. Oh dear.
I got 3 stories tonight.
Shock, you've been busy.
Yeah, 3 stories that I feel, are worthy.
I bet you one of your stories and one of my stories are quite similar.
Oh yeah, you think so?
I know so, because you told me one of them earlier on. Then I downloaded it and did a wee bit of work on it.
So should we just roll right into that then?
Yeah, let's go.
So my first story is, last week we talked about Narrative Software's new application called, what are you doing?
I'm going.
What are you doing? What are we doing? Yeah.
I was being, what do you call the dolphin?
I don't
Skippy?
know. You're
Skippy the dolphin? No.
You're smacking something. Don't smack that. That's loud.
What do you call him? What do you call a dolphin? You know the
Flipper?
Dolphin. Flipper. He's bound to be Canadian, was he not?
No.
Australian.
I think
maybe.
he was in Hawaii. So anyways, Narrative Software called Select.
Beautiful.
So I was on the waiting list for the beta, and there was a link last week. You can check on that link and you can sign up. And what they'll do is they'll do a one-on-one and introduce you to the software for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you can download the software and do it all on your own. Now, if you do it with them and they walk you through it and you like bumble and stumble and figure everything out and they watch you, they screen share, you'll get $60 as a little gift to you. But otherwise, if you just want to get on it and just get going, like I did last night, I mean, the stuff is amazing. Amazing. It is so amazing.
So amazing.
So let alone the fact that it can actually tell you if a person is blinking, if a person is out of focus. Just think about the application photo mechanic. And photo mechanic, probably like the major reason 90% of any photographer still having photo mechanic is the fact that it renders immediately.
Yeah.
You can see a one-to-one preview in photo mechanic instantly.
Yeah.
This software from Narrative called Select, you can see the image instantly at one-to-one.
Yeah.
And it'll do a split screen. So you can see the full image, the full frame, and then off to the right, you'll see a one-to-one, and it'll focus, it'll zoom right in on their eyes. It's amazing. Then the AI kicks in and tells you whether or not it's in focus and all that other good stuff. It's amazing. I'm so happy with it. And I will be buying it.
You hear Leah shouting. Sorry, Rob.
Everything okay?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Sorry to interrupt you. Leah's lost the plot. Leah? Leah?
Yes?
I'm recording, Pat.
Okay, can I ask you to keep down me, please?
Can you hear Leah?
Nope.
Good. Cheers, Leah. Thanks very much, darling. So pro. Sorry, Rob. Leah's had a very hard week with me.
Oh, I bet.
Okay.
I bet. I'm really sorry about that. Yes. I could totally imagine.
Sorry, bud. Yes, it is.
So you downloaded it as well?
Yep.
And you played with it a little bit?
Yep, a lot.
What do you think?
I think it's a game changer.
Yeah.
I think it's a game changer for what I do. I was trying to think about it as an application for working in archives with a few tweaks. And I think it would be, and maybe there's something out there that I don't know about, but with regards to the AI and the face recognition stuff, it's just, it saves you.
The crazy thing is they're marketing it towards wedding photographers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
don't worry about the wedding photographers. Worry about every photographer. Every photographer.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a shoot the other day. It's my, fourth shoot or fifth shoot?
Stop showing off, Rob.
Since February.
Stop showing off.
Come on, Chris. You work more than me. And I shot 1,000 images. And it churned through those 1,000 images. Because it's great. You just hit the distill button on the top right. And it churns through the images in a split second.
Yeah.
In a split second, 1,000 images were culled. And it pulled out 197 images that were either out of focus or blinking.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, especially if you're shooting on this, if you're rattling through, it gives you that confidence to. I'm not saying rattling through sounds unprofessional. If you're rattling,
if you're shooting a lens wide open, if you're shooting like a 1.4 or a 1.7 or a 2.0 lens, and you're shooting it wide open, and you're worried about your focus, you're bracketing your focus, you're leaning backwards and forwards a little bit as you're shooting it, just firing off images, just to make sure that you get something.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, this software culls it all.
Yeah. And I went through it a couple of times and it didn't fail once. Not once.
Yep.
100% hit rate. And it's just, it's a game changer, isn't it?
Do you want to hear a really super ironic part to this, though?
Oh, no.
Here, let me take a swig.
A swig of what, Rob? What are you swigging? Big and jiggling?
It's apple juice.
Good for you. I can't drink because I've got COVID.
That's what I heard.
Seriously? I'm drinking vitamin D. Go ahead, tell me your ironic story.
This week, another major company came out with another piece of software that does virtually the exact same thing. But not only does it do blinks and out of focus images, but it'll also tell you if your color's wrong, if your tonality is wrong, and like another half a dozen other parameters to this. No. The irony of it all, Chris, it's Kodak.
No way.
And guess what the software is called?
What?
Kodak's Professional Select.
Shut up. Are you serious?
So Narrative has Select and Kodak has Professional Select. Oh my God. Now the Kodak one, we don't know yet exactly what Narrative is going to be priced at.
Yeah.
But the Kodak one, are you sitting down, Chris?
I'm sitting down, Rob.
Good. Because put your arms on the armrests and take a good grip. It's $299 a year subscription based.
Christ.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous? What are they trying to do? They're trying to gain back all that money that they lost on that bullshit stock thing, like back in the spring or something? Yeah. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
$300 a year.
Well, all Select has to do is go one. You know what? I'm sure it's not going to be 150, but I'm sure Select's going to be. Well, I know what it's going to be.
But the thing is, Chris, is all those other parameters that Kodak is searching for, the color and the tonality and all that. I don't care about that. No, I'm shooting raw. I can fix all that stuff. I can't fix a blink, and I can't fix out of focus.
And the thing is, Rob, with you're going to be shifting that in and out of Lightroom anyway, so it's not going to be, that stuff's going to be, it'll look after itself. You're right.
Yep.
Do you tell it was dollars or pounds? Dollars.
Dollars. Yeah.
That's still pricey. In the middle of a pandemic when nobody's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, if you want to attract me, if you have the superior product, give me the year for free. Give me the year for free. Hook me on the product. And then sign me up for, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, of course.
Like 15 pounds a month.
No, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Or, Jesus, no, it's 20, whatever. I can't do the math right now because I'm drinking apple juice.
It's a whole Photoshop.
Yeah, you think about that, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's
like Photoshop and Lightroom are 10 pounds. 10 pounds a month for Photoshop and Lightroom.
You'd want it to be something like $8.99 or, you know what I mean? If it's
and you know it's going to be the superest clunky interface you've ever seen because it comes from Kodak.
You know what Kodak do really well, Rob? Memories.
Make film.
Memories. Yeah, memory. Memories. They're not so good at the...
They make great 8x10 and 4x5 film.
They can't jump into the future too well. No harm. But you know what? Good for them. But I wonder how that's come about. I wonder if somebody said, there's a guy in New Zealand doing something.
Australia?
Yeah. Or,
Is it Australia or New Zealand?
I have a feeling it's New Zealand, but that's probably just me. But you know what?
They speak more normal?
In New Zealand?
No, is that what you were hearing? They were speaking more normal English?
No, I'm just saying, I wonder if somebody as the guy from Select found out that there was some research going on in Kodak, which I very much doubt, or has it vice versa?
No, I think it's vice versa. Yeah. Maybe it's just totally random. Maybe it's just a coincidence that it all happened. But there's no way that the name is coincidence. No way.
Exactly. Yeah,
no
of course.
way. No way.
It's cheeky is what it is.
Yeah.
Rob, my stories today are very local.
Cool. Let's hear them.
They're not even overly timely in one sense, but very timely in another. I'm going to start with my dear pal, Kenneth O'Halloran. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bing, 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 bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Okay. 2016. Okay. A study of the powerful and often visceral reaction of Americans who visited Donald Trump's star at the renowned Hollywood Walk of Fame. Okay. 2016.
That's kind of fun.
Just as he got in, more or less. Okay. So Ken did this incredible book, really beautiful big coffee table book. And it was basically, as he says, reactions to this Trump's star of fame and do that. But how nice is it? And I was chatting to Ken the other day because I love this book, and I was asking if he had a couple of copies left, and he has some copies left. Not very many, but he has some copies left. There's one in Belfast Exposed for sale, and I went through it again, and I thought to myself, do you know what? For what's happening now with Biden getting in and Trump being kicked out, and God knows what's going to happen to dear old Donald. You know what I mean? Something's going to happen to him, I imagine. Wow. Eventually, as they say, okay? 2016, if anybody hasn't got this, okay, and this isn't me touting for a friend, this is genuinely a good buy, okay? 120 euros will get you a 10 by 12 fine art print and a limited edition. I hope he still has a limited edition. Or otherwise, you can get, let me see how much it is for the unsigned, or not the, let's see what the crack is, buy book here. £38, or 38
for a hardcover?
Euros. Yeah.
Wow, that's cheap.
And it is worth
That's great.
having. I think it's one of the finest Irish photo books. Now, there you go. I not even Irish.
How many pages? How many images?
Good for you. It is 80 pages, 117 photographs.
Wow.
Ken knows his onions. It annoys me. We did the masters together, and he knows he annoys me because he's so fucking talented and bright. And you know what he used to do in the masters? He used to ask questions, right? And the questions were always kind of like, almost like he didn't know what was going on, right? Mm-hmm. Had you not have done a wee bit of research on all the people you're doing the masters with, you might have fallen into the trap of thinking Ken didn't know what was going on. Ken knew what was going on. Ken was...
Of course he did.
Clever. But 2016, where we find ourselves today, if you haven't bought it, go and buy it because they will be selling out. It's one of those things I think that it's historic. You know what I mean? There's stuff going on today that I think will lean heavily on that book in maybe 5-10 years. For me, anyway. Mm. But 38.
Do you know who published it?
Yeah, I do. Know who published it? Self-published 2016. We'll check that there. Who
pressed it?
I don't know. Doesn't say. I could find out. I'll find out and put it in the link. Yeah.
Cool.
But it is a beautiful...
I'm just curious in the printing, that's all.
It is perfect.
Great.
Perfect. It's really beautifully done. And it is... it's just beautifully done. Everything about it just is spot on for the time. But kind of right where we find ourselves now. 2016 seems a while ago. Yeah. If you open the book, it's kind of today in a sense. There you go. In fact, I might buy them all and then contact Trump supporters, and that's where the money is. Right, I won't be tagging Ken on this. I'm going to buy them off him first. buy his last few copies. Okay, so that's me. Can I do another one quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, it's local. Okay. Local, we'll say local. It's actually not local, it's actually international. But some of you might know I do some work for Belfast Exposed, which is Belfast Exposed, an organisation in Belfast. You see, everyone would say the gallery in Belfast, but anybody who knows Belfast Exposed well knows they're not just a gallery. Okay. But I've been in the last few, well, I haven't actually been in the last week at all because I've been at death's door. Dramatic pause. But anyway, what we've done, what Belfast Exposed have done as a team is we've come up with because the gallery isn't open, because absolutely sod all's open, you know what I mean, with regards to galleries and artwork and everything else. Deirdre, who's the CEO, it's not the CEO, is it the CEO? She's the director, creative director anyway. But anyway, she came up with a great idea of putting work onto the street. Okay, and to do that safely, of course, we can't just put stuff onto the street. We have to project it or have some way of people looking in. So we, Belfast Exposed, got a really big high-tech screen, and the idea was it would sit in the...
How many inches? 55?
55.
55, what a great guess.
How do you know? Oh, you've read this, you shit, have you?
No.
Have you not?
Just guessed.
Did I tell you
just
already?
guessed. How many inches? 55.
55. So what we have is this. So the idea is behind this, we're going to get artists, and we're going to show work. So whenever people are going past or whatever, art is still alive in the city. Because currently,
do you have a sensor?
What do you mean?
Well, as people go past, like
well,
the images will change and stuff.
It's 9 to 5 for now. So basically, it comes on at 9, goes off at 5:30. I think it is.
Oh, it's just all automated.
Yeah, but
it's not AI.
It's not AI. No, not yet, Rob. But I wouldn't rule this. I wouldn't watch this space. There's sound. There are images. So whenever you walk past,
on the outside, outside of the building, they can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
cool, great.
Thought lots of different stuff. So
is it you going
just to get people's attention? Well, as a team, we're awfully proud of it because what's happened is. But listen. This isn't. It's a reaction to COVID, but it's not a COVID. It's not something that's just going to happen. It's there to stay. It's a new gallery space. It's kicking off with Jill Quigley. Oh, I hear you say.
Right.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, wow. Jesus. So what we have is her new work, Art Without Mystery. Okay. I won't say too much. I'll put a link to it. Okay. I'll put a link to Jill's work and to the.
Leave some mystery.
Well,
to art.
Do you know why? Because I've just realised that I was doing the Masters at Cam, but I was also doing the Masters at Jill. It's like a Masters love-in, which I'm happy for. You know what I mean? Because Jill is, without doubt, beyond talented. She's a mystery. She's an enigma for me.
More mystery.
With her, how she works. But what we have is, what's happening is we're going to have other artists. We're going to have Noel Bowler, which we'll talk, is my next story. Again, I did the Masters with. But also Matthew Finn. We've talked about Matthew Finn and his book Mother and Uncle. Yeah. So Matthew's going to be involved with a whole line of people who are top notch, world class, who are going to be exhibiting on this new space. And for me, it's kind of really exciting because it's a new way of engaging with art from what's called street view, from the street. And it's a different audience in a sense, but also we're not letting Belfast down with regards to not being able to show work. And we're really, really lucky because we have a nice front and a pretty city centre place. I'm doing okay. For some reason, my head's busting, by the way. Good, Rob. That's me. Jill Quigley.
Jill Quigley.
Love her. I actually do love Jill Quigley. If she's watching. Oh, Jesus, Leah's dad watches this. I have to be careful. Oh, I went too far.
I have a somber note.
Oh, shit, Rob. Somebody's died.
Yeah. Baron Wolman.
Hey.
Baron Wolman.
Who's that?
He was a photographer. He was there at the very beginning with Rolling Stone. He
80.
He was 83.
Yeah.
But I remember right after World War II, he immigrated to the United States. He was shooting a little bit in Germany when he was there in West Germany, and then he immigrated to the United States, and he almost immediately ended up, eventually, I guess, at Rolling Stone.
Okay.
Yeah. In the very, very, very beginning.
When did he shuffle off his mortal coil?
Just this past week. Oh. He was 83, and it was ALS. And he's actually a friend of a friend of mine.
Hold on. Did you say it was JLS?
ALS.
Jeez, I thought you were accusing...
Lou Gehrig's.
I thought you were accusing a dance band of doing him in.
No.
Fuck, Rob. I thought you went mad there.
I don't know. Are they bad? Is it a bad band?
I've worked with one. I've worked very recently with one of JLS. Lovely, lovely, lovely fellas. But
okay, then they didn't do it.
No, good.
They didn't do it.
Desperate
it was ALS. It was ALS, Chris.
What's ALS, Rob?
Lou Gehrig's disease.
Why is it ALS if it's ALS? Lou Gehrig. Is that LG?
No. It's shorted to Lou Gehrig's disease because Lou Gehrig got it.
Was he a photographer?
No, he was a baseball player.
How am I meant to know that?
You don't have to. Just remember ALS and that whole ALS challenge where you took the bucket of ice and you dumped it on your head 10 years ago?
Is that from him?
Well, it's not from Lou. It's from ALS. That was their thing. Anyways, Baron was a really nice guy. I actually did a little correspondence with him back and forth through my other friend.
Oh.
Just talking about lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Really nice guy, totally down to earth. I'll put a couple of links to some interviews in the description below.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Rob.
Well, I didn't know him that well.
My friend
really knew him. My friend really knew him well. And he was a great photographer. I mean, he was hanging around with Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and all those people and stuff. And
that was the days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now, you know what? You could hang about with Justin Bieber now if you were very lucky. And
hopefully not.
What do you call the other girl on the wrecking ball? What's her name?
Yeah, Miley Cyrus. So I've got a great story. My last story, because I only have 2 minutes left here.
Quick.
There's a thing called, and my friend, who's a friend of Baron Wolman's, he put me onto this. It's called the ORcam. It's for visually impaired people. And it clips on the side of your frames of your glasses. It's a little camera, and it's touch and gesture sensitive. And it basically will read everything that's in front of you.
No, and put it in your ear?
And you can wear an earbud, or there's a speaker inside the unit that will you'll be able to hear it through the speaker, and so will people who are really close to you. But this is what it'll do. It will, sorry, dogs. What's in front of you? A door, a door handle. It'll tell you where the door handle is in respect to your hand.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will. You can hold a barcode up to it. So when you're shopping, you can hold a barcode and it'll tell you what item you're holding in front of you. Or if you're going to the cupboard, it'll tell you what you're holding. Facial recognition, it'll tell you you're sitting in front of Chris Barr. Amazing. It'll identify colors. You'll hold your finger on the color.
Who's doing this?
And
Kodak?
No, it's not Kodak. And you can also log items into the memory of it. It's so cool. I'll put the link in the description below. It's so amazing. Anybody that knows anybody that is visually impaired, please watch this stuff. It's great. It's groundbreaking. Totally groundbreaking.
It's like having new legs.
And with that, Chris,
are we gone?
I have to say, till next week, Chris.
Well, hold on, really quickly. I can't talk about.
I'll see you next week.
I want to talk about No Boulders Kickstarter. I'll do it next week. It's gone.
You're the best, Chris.
You
are the best.
Rob, that's not I love you. And people have been contacting me to say I love you because I'm not well.
You're the best. That's
not the same thing. I could die tomorrow and then you would never get to say it. You have to cry at the grave. Best. I love him. Why didn't I say it? Why didn't I?
You're gone, dude. You're gone. You're signed off. You're already off.
That's me rolling now.
Okay, great. So speakerphone.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Speakerphone off.
What'd you say?
Speakerphone off. Speakerphone off.
Speakerphone. My name's Rob. My name's Rob.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.